175 billion parameters. That was GPT-3. Today, GPT-4 is estimated at 1.8 trillion. Your brain has roughly 86 billion neurons. AI isn't mimicking you, it's playing a different game entirely. I'm Alex. This is Beyond the Model, where we decode the AI revolution reshaping your world. Last week we asked whether AI would take your job. Today we go deeper. By the end of this journey, you'll understand why these models aren't thinking, why they're prone to hallucinations, and why the simple math behind them is more powerful than any logic we've ever built. Why is this happening now? For decades, AI was a series of if-then statements, brittle, logical, and ultimately limited. Then came 2017. A team at Google published a paper titled, "Attention is All You Need." They introduced the transformer. It wasn't just an upgrade, it was a total abandonment of how we thought machines should learn. Instead of following rules, the transformer learned to pay attention to patterns across vast distances of data. In the last 24 months, we've seen the result. A vertical climb in capability that has caught even its creators off guard. This isn't just about better math. It's about raw, industrial-scale power. Between 2012 and 2024, the amount of compute used to train the largest AI models has increased by a factor of over 100 million. We've moved from academic experiments to server farms that consume as much electricity as small nations. Companies like NVIDIA didn't just get lucky. They became the arms dealers for a new kind of digital oil. This isn't software development as we knew it. This is a massive, capital-intensive infrastructure project aimed at digitizing human intelligence itself. To understand the how, you have to stop thinking about words. AI doesn't see the cat sat on the mat. It sees tokens, numerical fragments of meaning. When you prompt a model, it's converting your language into a high-dimensional vector space. Think of it as a map with billions of coordinates. But here's what nobody tells you. In this space, Apple the fruit and Apple the company are miles apart, defined only by the company they keep. The machine doesn't know what a fruit is. It only knows that the word juice frequently appears nearby. Inside this vector space, relationships become geometry. Researchers found that if you take the vector for king, subtract man, and add woman, the resulting point in space is closest to queen. It's a mathematical hallucination of logic. This is how LLMs navigate complexity, not by understanding concepts, but by calculating the distance between ideas. The part they don't show you in the headlines is that this intelligence is entirely statistical. It's the world's most sophisticated game of predict the next piece of the puzzle, played at a scale humans can't comprehend. There is a growing belief in Silicon Valley called the scaling hypothesis. It suggests that we don't need a breakthrough in how AI works to reach human-level intelligence. We just need more. More data, more GPUs, more electricity. Rich Sutton's The Bitter Lesson argues that specialized human knowledge built into AI always loses to general methods that scale with compute. This is why OpenAI and Anthropic are raising billions. They aren't looking for a better algorithm. They are building a bigger engine, betting that raw power will eventually look indistinguishable from wisdom. Here's the thing that keeps AI researchers up at night: the black box. When a model like Claude 3.5 Sonnet solves a complex coding problem, we can trace the math, but we cannot explain the reasoning. We are building systems whose internal logic is so complex that it is effectively alien. We can see the inputs and the outputs, but the middle, the trillion parameter weights shifting in unison, is a mystery. We are essentially growing intelligence in a digital petri dish, and we're just now realizing we don't have the tools to audit its thoughts. Everything I just told you is accurate. But there's a dimension to this story that almost no one in the media covers. We are running out of human data. The internet is finite. Some estimates suggest we will exhaust high-quality public text by 2026. If the scaling hypothesis relies on more data, and we've already read the whole library, where do we go next? This is the pivot point. We are entering the era of synthetic data, AI training on data created by other AI. If we get this wrong, we risk a model collapse where AI becomes a copy of a copy. Why does ChatGPT sound so helpful and polite? It's not because the model is inherently nice. It's because of RLHF, reinforcement learning from human feedback. After the initial training, thousands of humans rate the model's answers, teaching it to hide its darker statistical impulses. This is the veneer. Underneath that helpful persona is a raw, chaotic prediction engine that has no concept of truth or morality. We've spent billions of dollars just to give a statistical monster a corporate personality, making it feel safe enough for the average office worker to use. People complain about AI hallucinating, but here is the counterintuitive truth. Hallucination isn't a bug. It's the core feature. Prediction is a form of controlled hallucination. When you ask an AI to write a poem, you are asking it to hallucinate a sequence of words that fits the pattern of poetry. The problem arises when we ask it for facts. The machine doesn't have a fact database. It only has a probability database. It isn't lying to you. It's simply following the math to the most likely next token, even if that token doesn't exist. As these models grow, they develop emergent properties, abilities they weren't specifically trained for. GPT-3 wasn't designed to code, yet it learned. It wasn't designed to translate languages, yet it became a polyglot. This is the sparks of AGI that researchers talk about. When you stack enough simple layers of math, something complex and unpredictable starts to emerge. It's similar to how a single water molecule isn't wet, but a billion of them are. We are witnessing the birth of wet software, and we are still trying to figure out how to swim. But let's ground this in reality. While AI is fast, it is incredibly inefficient compared to you. Your brain runs on about 20 watts of power, roughly the same as a dim light bulb. Training a frontier model requires megawatts. We are currently winning the AI race through brute force. The next decade won't just be about bigger models. It will be about the efficiency frontier. Companies like Grok are building new chips designed specifically for this math. If someone finds a way to run a trillion-parameter model on the power of a smartphone, the world changes. In 5 years, the concept of using an AI will feel as dated as using a telephone. AI will be the invisible substrate of every industry. We're moving from chatbots to agents. AI that doesn't just talk, but has the permission to log into your email, book your flights, and manage your projects. The winners won't be those who can prompt well. They will be the people who understand how to orchestrate these agents. The losers? Anyone whose job relies on being a middleman of information. If your value is moving data, the machine is coming. This is where it gets real. We are the first generation of humans to coexist with a non-biological intelligence that can outthink us in specific domains. That creates a profound existential anxiety. It's the fear that our unique human spark is just a very complex set of tokens. But the steam engine didn't end human physical labor. It amplified it. The calculator didn't end math. It expanded what we could build. The stakes aren't about being replaced. They're about being redefined. You aren't competing with the machine. You're competing with the version of yourself that knows how to use it. 3 things to take from today. First, AI is statistical prediction, not logical thinking. Second, the scaling hypothesis suggests raw power is the current path to intelligence. Third, the black box means we are using tools we don't fully understand. Remember those 1.8 trillion parameters? Here's what that actually means. We've built a mirror of human knowledge so vast that we can no longer see the frame. Next video on Beyond the Model. The real difference between ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. If this changed how you see what's coming,